Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling Keystone Virtual College Exploration. This program is a partnership between PACAC and StriveScan for all Pennsylvania students. My name is Liz Frasini. I'm a college counselor at Wyoming Seminary. I'm also the chair of the College Affairs Committee for PACAC. A few housekeeping items before we get started today. We are using the webinar feature of Zoom, so your camera and microphone will be off for the duration of the program. The panelists can't see or hear you, but you can engage with them through the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. So if you have questions throughout the session, please enter them into the Q&A box. Additionally, you signed up for today's session at the PACAC website. We have a full program and schedule through November 6th, so we encourage you to take a look at any additional sessions from now until November 6th. And then also you can view a recording of this session and many others, and you can find both the sessions and the recordings at www.pacac.org/virtual. And now I will turn it over to Anne Marie from Washington College.
Hi, thank you all so much for coming. My name is Anne-Marie Magnus, and I'm an admissions counselor with Washington College. My territory is obviously Pennsylvania and the Midwest, but I'm originally from Palm Springs, California. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we're going to go ahead and kind of get started. I want to first say please don't hesitate to put any questions you have in the chat box throughout the entire presentation. I will be answering them intermittently, whatever they fit best, and then I have time for questions at the end. So I want to kind of give a brief overview about what Washington College is all about, essentially. So Washington College is a small private liberal arts institution on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. As you probably have, depending where you are in your college search, you've probably noticed that there are lots of different types of schools. There's 2-year institutions, 4-year institutions, there's big schools, small schools, research institutions, schools that are in rural areas, schools that are in cities, schools in suburbs. There's really, I feel like, a perfect school and a perfect fit for everyone. So what my goal is to kind of show you what Washington College is and how we fit into all of that. And for some kind of key facts about us, you can already see those on your screen, but the ones that I want to really highlight are the 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio and the average class size of 15. We really believe that in building a really strong sense of community within our students. I think our location plays a huge part in that. So we're about 90 minutes from DC, Philly, and Baltimore, and about 45 minutes from Annapolis. So what we've done is essentially triple the opportunities for experiential learning and for internships just based on our location. Oftentimes you'll notice that some colleges only have maybe relationships with one city, but we are fortunate enough to have 3 at our disposal and very close. I also think that being in a more rural area that we are, that gives us a lot of advantages. I know that it can kind of be scary to think, oh gosh, like what is there to do at a rural college? Well, let me tell you, there's a lot to do. And I think that the reason for that is because it's a very intentional community. When you come to a place like Washington College, you're coming to a place where everyone around you has has made the intentional choice in their education to come here. This isn't a place where people were like, oh, well, I want to be in this city, so I applied to all the schools in this city, and I guess I ended up here, and like it's whatever. But I really care about the city, and I don't really care about the school, and I'm just kind of here, and I'm in a class of 500. It's not like that at all. When students enroll in Washington College and attend Washington College, they're really invested in this community. We are an undergraduate only institution, so we don't have any grad students. And I think this works kind of extremely well for us because 100% of our resources are for you and your undergraduate education. And to be in a place where all the resources are for you and you only, I think that's pretty special and a unique thing that students don't often get and that you don't often get in your life. One kind of thing that I want to definitely talk about is majors. And if anyone wants to ask any specific questions about any specific majors, please don't hesitate to kind of pop those majors in the chat box. But I want to talk about our programs because we have a lot and we have a lot of flexibility within our programs. So we are a liberal arts college, which means we believe that in order to study one subject really well, you have to know a couple of other different subjects. I think this really works well if you think about it, like for the liberal arts. Um, like you can't really study environmental science without knowing a little bit of biology and a little bit of probably political science as well. Or if you want to study history, you're probably going to need to know political science, and you're also probably going to need to know a little bit of economics, maybe. If you think about psychology, anthropology and sociology can often play right into that as well. If you want to be an English major, knowing a little bit of like theater and knowing a little bit of, I'm going to throw in psychology again, can only help you. So we really truly believe in that. We have over 60 areas of study. We have 30 different majors, 30 different minors, concentrations, and areas of emphasis. Around half of our students, 50% of our students, will double major or have a minor or concentration. I think this is because we offer so much flexibility with how we've built our degree. So essentially, you choose one major, and that's going to be 1/3 of your curriculum. The next third of your curriculum is those distribution requirements. That's where the liberal arts part comes in. Some people have heard of these called general education courses. Other places are called, diversification requirements. At Washington College, all they are is a set of guidelines, and you pick the classes that interest you within those guidelines. So I like to say, like, if you never want to take Shakespeare again, you never have to take Shakespeare again. But if you want to, you can totally pursue that. And then the last third of our curriculum is completely up to you to add another major, a minor, a double minor, a concentration, an area of emphasis. And we have some pretty unique ones that I want to highlight as well, like greener materials science, data analytics. Within our business management program, we actually have 6 different minors, and that includes marketing, international business, accounting, finance, data analytics, information systems. With biology and with chemistry, we have a lot as well. So you can definitely really like focus and specialize in what you want to study, and you have the freedom to kind of create your own education and really do you in the college process. Um, what you see on your screen here is our 5 pillars. We believe that these we call these our pillars of excellence, and they really stem into every part of our education. The first is the written word. I think our students can definitely tell you that what they're most proud of when they graduate is their ability to write and communicate. And this spans across all majors and all different disciplines, which I think is really special and unique. I can't think of one job, even in the STEM field, um, even in the STEM field, even pre-med, anything, like you're going to need to be able to write and communicate with other people. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's how our world has been developed. So to be able to do that, regardless of of what your major is, can put you so far ahead of someone who maybe they were a biology major, but they only ever studied biology. They never learned how to write and communicate well, but you come into that interview doing so, it's going to really set you apart. We do this by having a really strong first year seminar. Our first year seminar isn't a 500-person lecture hall. Maybe you'll have like 7 to 10 students in it, and there's 30 to 50 different topics to choose from any given year. So you're going to be able to really, again, focus on your passions. But this course lays the foundation, the strong research and writing skills. Next, you're going to be writing throughout your 4 years, and then at your senior year we have a senior capstone experience. This is like a senior thesis, and every single major has one, but they're unique to that major. I love this because students, what they say they're most like what students really say about this is that it's like such a great culmination. Like when you graduate from Washington College, you don't just graduate with a piece of paper, you actually graduate with something tangible to show for it that you can then take to employers. Like, I want to do research in your lab, look at the independent research I've already done. So that I just really find like very kind of unique and special about us. Environmental action plays really well into what we do on our day to day, whether it's our mass amounts of recycling recycling, our waste-free movement, our permaculture garden, our composting, things like that, but also with our Center for Environment and Society. They manage just under 5,000 acres of a river and field campus and some really special internship and research programs for our students, one specifically focused on the Chesapeake Bay. So a lot of great stuff happening there. With history informing the future, students are not only surrounded by the history at Washington College, us being the first school created after we declared our independence and the oldest college in Maryland and 10th oldest in the United States. You're surrounded by history wherever you go, and we make sure to acknowledge that history. I also really want to point out the Star Center for the Study of the American Experience, because they have some incredible internship programs through their Explore America internship program, where we partnered with institutions like the Smithsonian, the Library of Congress, the National Archives, and normally when those internships are unpaid, we pay our students. So those opportunities are really special there. And in terms of learning without limits and meaningful connections, I think these actually really work well together. Learning without limits, whether it's studying abroad, which 40% of our students do, or whether it's working directly with the Career Center on getting that internship, doing those mock interviews and whatnot, you're really supported to kind of almost reach beyond Washington College starting your first year. With meaningful connections, I think the connections you make the 4 years you're at college are some of the most important the important things. Yes, your education and the programs that every school offers and the internships and all that's super important, but what's going to help you post grad, as well as what's going to add to your experience during college, is those meaningful connections. Your faculty really become your family here. And I don't say that lightly. We actually have a Professor Sorrentino, and she does an incredible like toga dinner after her Greek and Roman history class, where she cooks authentic food, and it's after the final, and everyone comes over to her house, and everyone dresses up, and it's a really fun time. I want to take a moment also and talk about student life. So, student life at Washington College is really vibrant, as you can see, and pretty robust. We have over 80 student organizations on campus, 80 and counting. I feel like there's a new one every single year. Some of my favorites are the Sailing Club. Being from Palm Springs, California, being like surrounded by water, I just think is the coolest because Palm Springs is a desert. So I'm just fascinated by this. Um, Another really great club we have is called Fetching Freedom, where you can raise and train a service animal that's a match with someone in need through a special program. So if you like puppies and you're interested in community service, that could be a great outlet for you. We also have Greek life on campus, as well as we have athletics. So we are NCAA Division III for varsity athletics, and we also have club and intramural sports. One of our most popular club sports is actually esports. That really took off for us. I think the club is so inclusive, and they do everything from like Super Smash Brothers tournaments to if you want to play like League of Legends at a very serious level, you know? So that's really popular as well, or whether it's the spike ball team or the kickball team, or if you want to play volleyball or soccer, you definitely can still do that at college, whether it's club or intramural. And the difference between club and intramural sports, just in case you don't already know, club sports are where you still play other institutions, and intramural sports you just play with students at the college. Another thing that I really want to mention about like the social life at Washington College is there isn't like one group that dominates or is overbearing and has an overbearing presence. And that's what I love about this campus. Our students, it feels like, have their toe in so many different pools. So like, for example, say you might be in Greek life. Cool, but you might also do theater, but maybe you're also a chemistry major and you spend a lot of time at the literary house working as an intern for their literary review. You know, that is like a very normal sentence at Washington College, to be involved in so many diverse things. At a school like this, especially when you're living on campus all 4 years, you're really getting so many contact hours with so many different people. So there's never like one group that is like, if you're not in Greek life, you're not cool. If you're not an athlete, you're not cool. Because chances are, if you're an athlete or if you're in Greek life, or if you're in theater, or if you do music, you also do other things, which is really cool and a very like kind of special experience there. I also want to mention some fun traditions because I feel like they really exemplify Washington College's vibe, for lack of a better term. One of them you can see here. It's in the middle photo at the bottom row. It's the cardboard boat race. This happens on family weekend in October every single year. And so normally students will get together and they build cardboard boats and they race them across the Chester River. And as you can see, some have been very successful. Others have not been so successful, but everyone was recovered safely out of the water. And as you can see how many people are there, it's such a fun time. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see just a small part of our annual crab feast that also happens during family weekend. And if you love crab, Maryland's a great place to be. I'm allergic to shellfish, so I'm not gonna lie, this isn't that big of a deal for me, but everyone else is very excited about it. I love Old Bay though, so I'll put it on my French fries and we'll just kind of go with that. Another great tradition that I want to bring up is called Birthday Ball. So every year we celebrate George Washington's birthday. It's in February, and when I say that this is like prom on steroids, I am being like completely accurate with this. And I'll have to be honest. So last year was my first year going because staff and faculty do attend. And I kind of was like, oh, it's going to be this thing that like no one really goes to because it's like school sponsored and like we're too cool and like that kind of thing. Like I had a lot of misconceptions about it. And I showed up there and I was absolutely floored and blown away by how elaborate the decorations were, how great the food was there, how incredible that there was a DJ there. And it was just, and hundreds of alumni come back each year for this. Like, this is a big event that everyone goes to, which again is just like something special and very unique, especially if you weren't able to have a prom this year. It's something that you can definitely look forward to at Washington College. People are dressed to the nines. It's great. So one thing that I definitely also want to kind of touch on a little bit here is career placement, what students are doing kind of during the summer, but then also maybe after they leave Washington College. We have some really incredible programs while we're here. I mentioned previously the Star Center for the Study of the American Experience and their Explore America internship program, where students receive a stipend to intern at some pretty prestigious organizations. So that's one of them. Another one is the Brown Advisory Board within our business program. So this is a student-run investment program where students are given real money to invest into the stock market and large sums of money as well. And they actually have grown that portfolio from $500,000 to over $1 million. So they're doing very, very well in their investments. And it's a great way for any student who's interested in business and finance to get that real hands-on experience, investing large sums of money and like what that looks like. We also do a great program within our business department called Washington to Wall Street. This is essentially where we take, it's like a networking weekend. We take a busload of our business majors, we take them to Wall Street in New York, and it's a huge networking event with a lot of our alumni. And we've actually been fortunate enough to have a 100% turnover rate for jobs and internships through this program. One thing that I also want to mention is environmental science at Washington College. We're in a pretty unique location. The Chester River is one of the largest tributaries into the Chesapeake Bay. So the opportunity opportunities there are almost boundless per se. And if you love either being surrounded by nature or being able to study environmental science in a very authentic way, this could be a really great place for you. And there's two kind of options within our environmental science program. So there's environmental science and environmental studies. We've actually split up both programs so that way students can really, again, specialize and focus on what they want to focus on. So environmental science is going to be more research based. You're going to be on our river and field campus. You're going to be working on our floating classrooms, we like to call them, but they're fully equipped research vessels that you see in the upper left-hand corner here, where students are, using sonar equipment and they are doing experiments. And this is for class credit. This isn't something that is, just read about in a book. And for the study side, you're more focusing on maybe like policy-based theory, that sort of thing. We also have a really great partnership with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And last time I checked, we were actually the one of 4 schools to have this partnership. And it used to be 1 in 14. They downsized their partnership during the pandemic, but they kept us, which was great. So we're really fortunate that they love our students. I also want to talk about the Chesapeake semester. I mentioned previously that we had a lot of research opportunities specific about the Chesapeake Bay, and this is the big one, essentially. So it's like a study abroad where for the fall semester, you are completely studying the Chesapeake Bay. You don't take classes in anything else, and you're traveling around. You're looking at the ecology of the area, the anthropology of the area even, and then the last 2 weeks of the semester, you go to Belize and Guatemala, and you studied similar watersheds there, and you kind of are comparing that research. And when you graduate with a concentration in Chesapeake area studies. So again, super unique programs for environmental science. We just built our brand new Siemens Griswold Environmental Hall, which is a lab space that's right on the water. So it doesn't get better than that in my opinion, especially if you're really focused on that. In terms of careers and what that looks like at Washington College, 92% of our students within 9 months of graduating are either employed or enrolled in grad school. This is huge. We are so happy that these 5 pillars, utilizing these resources, it's working for our students and they're finding success post-grad. And that's what we really, really want to focus on. So I want to pause. I've given you guys a lot of information. Please let me know if anyone has any questions. Please type any in the chat. But last and kind of simply not least, now that you've seen me and met me, I'm the admissions counselor for Pennsylvania. So I want to make sure that you all know that what I'm here is to help you guys out with college or anything in between. There are no silly questions. That's kind of what I am here for and what I love to do. If I have to kind of picture the vibe of Washington College, it would be a really collaborative space, a space that focuses on improving accessibility for all students, a space with a lot of green space, as you can see from the overhead shot of our campus, a place where people are really focused on the world around them and they like to be in a place where what they do and what they say matters. So that's kind of an overview of Washington College and what that looks like. What would it be like to be a student on our campus? I want to talk about applications, deadlines, changes, anything that's happened. As you guys know, probably from experiencing a lot of different changes this year, things can be different with every single school. So I really encourage you to keep like a notebook and write down every school that you're interested in and figure out what deadlines and what they require within their application. We only require for our application a high school transcript, the application itself with the college essay. We also require I said transcript, a guidance counselor recommendation. We do not require test scores. We are completely test optional. And we are very excited about that. And you can still qualify for all scholarships being test optional at Washington College. It won't negatively impact your application whatsoever. I want to also talk about our 3 deadlines for a second. So we have early decision, early action, and regular decision. Early decision is that legally binding contract. So when you apply early decision, you'll actually fill out a contract that says, hi, I know that once I get accepted here, I am guaranteed to enroll and I withdraw all other of my applications and I'm going to Washington College. I like to say that early decision at every school you apply to, if you choose to apply to any early decision, this is where you live. If you are like, oh my gosh, I visited the school, I love it, I just bought 10 million sweatshirts and like, here we go. Like, that's it, right? Early action is our largest applicant pool, and it is the applicant pool I really want to stress to you all as students. I highly recommend applying by early action December 1st. It's non-binding. You get in all of your application materials before the holiday break, which can be really helpful, and you have opportunities for additional scholarships. So, and then the last time you can apply is regular decision. We are on the Common App. If you don't know what the Common Application is, it is a application portal that's online. You create an account, you fill out one application, and you can send it to hundreds of different schools. 800 schools, I think, is the number, are on the Common App, as are we. And we're completely free to apply there. We also have an institutional application if you don't want to apply through the Common App, and you can do that as well. Whatever you want to do is completely up to you. We don't have a preference. It's just another option. And one thing that I really want to mention and stress about like financial aid is, I think, to put yourself in a really great position applying earlier to every school. You can still apply regular decision, but applying in the fall is going to be a lot of stress that you don't have to deal with. You get to kind of alleviate a lot of stress. So I want to talk about financial aid at Washington College. So we offer, I like to say, 3 types of financial aid. So first we have our merit-based scholarships. So for our merit-based aid, those are based on the merit of your application. So we look at your entire application. We read all of your letters of recommendation. We read every single one of your, every single word of your essay. We look at your entire transcript. If you submitted test scores, if you interviewed with us, which I highly recommend, we look at everything to determine your merit-based scholarship. These scholarships range from $25,000 to $35,000. We've actually increased them since last year, so we're really excited about that. So that is kind of the first part of the bucket, right, that we're filling up. The next part is need-based aid. We determine need-based scholarship through the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. If you have any questions or you don't know where to find the FAFSA or need help with it, don't hesitate to reach out. That's what we're here for. You can submit the FAFSA online, and that will help us determine that need-based scholarship. So we start off with merit aid, need-based scholarship through the FAFSA, and last but not least is our departmental or admitted student scholarships. These scholarships range anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000. They renew every single year, and it depends on if you have like a very strong passion for something, and we definitely encourage all students to apply to them. Some are invitation only. There's a whole slew of them. I don't want to overwhelm you with all of that information, but just know that you can apply to them once you've been accepted to the college. Once you've been accepted to the college, you'll receive a ton of emails, a ton of flyers mailed home from us saying, hi, there are scholarships, go apply, like you qualify for these, that type of thing. So those I definitely like to say, keep an eye out on your email after you apply to all schools, because you never know what opportunities are going to be available to you. All right, so I think I have gone through it all, and I don't see any questions. So I was gonna say, do you have any questions? Mhm. Nope. All right. Okay. Well, I want to I was going to say that is all I have prepared for today. Um, I want to thank everyone for coming so much. I really, really appreciate it. And if you need anything whatsoever, all of my information is on the website. If you go to admissions, meet the team, and you'll see a picture of my face, and you'll also see Pennsylvania. So it's very easy to find. So don't hesitate to reach out. All right. Thank you guys so much. Mhm.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anne Marie. This was really wonderful. We appreciate you joining our program today. And thank you for all the participants. If you joined us live, there is a quick 4-question survey at the end, and we'd appreciate your feedback. Also, if you'd like to sign up for additional sessions through November 6th or view a recording of this session or any others, you can do so at www.pacac.org/virtual. Thanks so much, Anne Marie.
Yeah, thank you.